And we begin by clearing up politics. Did Biden just win the election? We've got some signs that maybe he did. Right now, the first primary in America is going on in New Hampshire. Biden is not on the ballot, and the Democrats are not voting today for procedural reasons. However, DeSantis, on the Republican side, dropped out over the weekend and endorsed Trump. There is a slim hope for Nikki Haley, and Donald Trump said last night, quote, "One will be gone tomorrow, one will be gone in November." Ah! End quote. Trump is a virtual certainty in November to represent the Republicans against President Biden. And that's exactly what the White House wants. Why? Well, a new Harvard Capps-Harris poll suggests a conviction in federal trial related to overturning the last election would significantly impact former President Trump's chance to win the election. Now, not among the MAGA radical fascists and the conservatives or their evangelicals, but change and loss of enthusiasm from moderate Republicans and independents. Analysis by the Des Moines Register of the Iowa Caucus shows evangelicals will affect the November election. While they overwhelmingly support Trump, other non-evangelical Republicans support drops by more than 20 points for the former president. The Register suggests it's a precursor to a possible defeat, and not enough Republicans and independents will support Trump in the general election. Political watchers also say the growth of independents will benefit Biden. Biden won the popular vote in 2020 by more than 7 million votes. Of course, the Electoral College is what is important. You must reach 270. But the growth of the popular vote from GOP and independents won't support Trump and could help Biden get reelected. Yesterday, Trump's former White House Director of Communications for like 5 days, Anthony Scaramucci, made the point saying, quote, "Joe Biden is going to beat him like a drum. The way he beat him last time is the way he beats him in 2024. Whether you like Biden or don't like him, ask yourself, is any new person voting for Mr. Trump? Has he in any way expanded his base or expanded the popularity for a new person? Are there any new participants that want to actually vote for Mr. Trump?" Virtually every poll on that question says no, end quote. A lot's going to happen in the next 10 months, including get out to vote or staying at home. That's what really wins presidential elections. Where LGBTQ plus America falls on these choices is yet to be determined. So are we going to, well, obviously we're going to break for Biden. But the question, of course, is always how much and where. Because it really doesn't matter if all the gays in Wyoming get together and vote. That's not going to affect the election. But we need to rally ourselves in Michigan, in Pennsylvania. Say it with me. We all know Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. We know this. So I do think that a federal conviction will probably hurt him. But remember, this is also the same person whose audio leaked. You just grab him by the pussy.
Yes.
Right. Happened 2 weeks before the election, and he still cruised to victory in 2016. And I've said this before. I think it was to you maybe last week. I've played this game before in 2016 of, okay, let's support Trump because certainly no one will vote for him. And
that's why we can't sit down.
Did. So I don't like to play the let's hope he gets the nomination.
We have to be vigilant. No one can sit down because I was shocked when he won. I couldn't believe it. I just knew he was going to lose, and then he became president. I've been voting since I was 18 years old, showing up to the polls with my transgender self, the looks and everything, but I know how important it is. You know, it's a right of us Americans, and I'm not going to sit down on that.
You know, I saw a TikTok today of a straight white woman who is a major Trump supporter. I don't even remember the handle or anything, but she said, I'd rather be grabbed by the pussy than grabbed by Joe Biden anywhere on my body. So the scariest part of this is that it's now 2024, right? And we still have people like that who are larger groups than the LGBTQ plus community who are voting against what we need to be voting for. And it's the Twilight Zone, you know. It
feels
freaky,
cultish
you
to
know.
me.
It's scary.
Like the people that support him, he can do whatever the hell he wants, and they still support him. It's like obviously he has some sort of appeal with a certain type of people. you know, so.
There are a lot of what ifs that are going on here, though, too. I mean, like, what if he's not allowed on the ballot in those states that he's already been told he's not allowed? The Supreme Court's going to have to say something about that soon enough. So what if? So all of those things come together, and we still can't be complacent. Because what if we don't show up to vote? Regardless of all those other what ifs, if we don't show up to vote, he becomes president.
That's the only what if, really.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we have to also realize that we're talking a lot about 2016 Trump. This is 2024 Trump. So 2016 Trump was a lot of people saying, oh, I'll give him a shot. He's a business person. That Trump is gone. So as Scaramucci said, there are no new people that are like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll try out Trump and I see what he's like. Everybody knows exactly what he's like. He has a cult personality and he has a cult of followers that will vote for him if he does kill someone, as he already predicted many years ago. But I think we're in the media world that we're hearing so much, there's so much Trump support, is that those supporters are very loud, and the voter that just says, I'd never vote for him, I'm not very political, they're going to probably go to the polls, I believe, and they're going to break for Joe Biden. And I think that, again, the sanity thing is very important, and we've already seen the red wave never happened. A lot of these, things that were supposed to come to fruition, and then all of the extreme policies, whether they're book banning or the attacks on the trans community, and all of this invasive government, ban on abortions, is going to push voters to say, those are my choices. So you may not like Biden, but your choice is you're going to have more of that, more book banning, more abortion bans, and more, LGBTQ rights taken away.
Raji, bring you in.
I just have a question. Now, I know a president can do 2 consecutive terms, but if they do 1 term and lose and then come back...
They're term limited to 10 years.
10 years.
Okay, so he can't run again.
No.
Well, if he loses, he could run again.
He can run again, but if he wins, he can't do it.
Will be...
I mean, he can't run at all.
Okay. I was a little confused about that. And I was thinking, dear
jog,
Lord, please, no, not 8 years.
Slow jog.
Yeah.
Hopefully not 4 years, but,
Now, once you're done with My Hollywood Pride on Sunday,
yes,
you're also part of the task force.
Yes.
What are they doing? What are we doing to gear up? Because we said 10 months, it's almost here.
So the task force will actually be at My Hollywood Pride. They're one of our presenting sponsors. So we did launch part of the fundraising for the gala this year was the Queer the Vote campaign, which is, again, educating and getting voters to the polls. So a lot of the work that they're doing is around the Queer the Vote initiative, which will be, again, training leaders in the field to do field work. They have a national campaign. They do a lot of trainings on, how to organize in your own community. Again, remember, the task force does a lot of work that doesn't happen in our community because we have an abundance of organizations here to do that work. But if you're in a Wyoming or an Indiana where you're a small population, they do trainings for people across the country to help educate and bring those services and help them to motivate and organize people to do the work, which again is around registering to vote and making a plan to go to the polls.
Awesome.